Ladies and gentlemen, Atlanta-based rapper Cash Out has been sentenced to 70 years in prison.
High in the sky, girl, I can't see you. Got a condo on my wrist, girl, I'm cashing out. But she twerking.
Let me get y'all caught up with all the charges he's being accused for. John Michael Hakeem Gibson, also known as rapper Cash Out, an Atlanta rapper, is currently behind bars after being indicted for ape and running a prostitution ring. Cash Out, whose real name is John Gibson, is best known for his 2012 single Cashin Out. WSB reported Gibson is facing a 41-count indictment along with 5 others running a sex trafficking ring. The Fulton County District Attorney's Office claimed Gibson used his celebrity to lure women into a prostitution ring for a chance to do something else with their lives. One of Gibson's Instagram posts from May 2021 features 3 women twerking with the caption, "What you gonna do for that money, Gwinnett and the Fulton County Police records show Gibson has been booked into jail and has been charged with aggravated sodomy, ape, simple battery, domestic violence, prostitution of a person under 18 years old, trafficking a person for sexual servitude, and violation of the Georgia RICO Act. In addition to those charges, Gibson has faced several grand jury bench warrants, misdemeanors for pimping and pandering, 2 accounts of trafficking a person for sexual servitude, willful obstruction of law enforcement officers, and aggravated assault. Records show Gibson was originally booked by Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office on August 28th before being transferred to the Fulton County Sheriff's Office on September 20th. The only post Gibson's official Instagram account has made since September 20th is a music video promotion for his freestyle Wayne Flow. On September 28th, the Instagram account has been active on his stories. However, why should you live in constant fear of the fury of those who are ready to destroy you? One of the account's Instagram stories read, after a report of Gibson's indictment came out, the fury can no longer touch you. Those who are prisoners will soon be set free, even more prosperous. Pound free Cash Out. Through Gibson's social media pages or promotion for OnlyFans accounts with various women titled Pretty Girls and Long Stroke. The link to the account now has an error. Gibson's pinned tweet on March 2nd is a promotion for the page and a picture of a woman appearing to perform sexual act with a man in a garage on April 13th. His Twitter account promoted the launch of his TikTok account. Let me show y'all a video of Cash Out in the courtroom addressing the judge, the victims, and the prosecutors all at once.
I want to start out by thanking you for giving us a fair trial. I want to thank the jurors for the amount of time that they put in to judge this trial. This time being on this trial, I was able to see how the jurors are put in a tough position to, sit there and judge someone's life, and, it's a hard decision, and I felt like they made the wrong judgment. I've done things in my life. I'm not perfect. But the things I've been accused of, I know that I haven't done those things. I know it's typical for a person to come up here and, show remorse to, crimes that they have done, but I can only show remorse to the people that I know that was in this trial, which is Kiara Adams, Deanna Sanders, and Jasmine Brown. Not remorse on behalf of like I did anything to them, because if you know me, and people who really know me know that I wouldn't force anybody to do anything. I met women, I dated women who were doing escort or whatever, however people want to look at it from a moral standpoint, but who was doing these things as a grown woman. I've only dealt with grown women. Nothing was forced. Nothing was coerced or anything of that nature. If you notice, before this trial, no woman can say anything about me before this trial. If you notice, before this indictment, no woman can say anything about me before this indictment. I get the situations that people are put in when they're faced with a certain type of crime or a certain type of time, and they're bullied into this situation to put the blame on someone, or to put the blame on Cash Out, or to put the blame on someone who's at the top. That's why I didn't really fault them for their decision. I didn't fault Deanna Sanders for making her decision during the proffer. She just had a child. Mind you, she was just on video call with me while being incarcerated. I don't fault Kiara Adams for doing the things she did with her proffer, because mind you, she was facing a certain amount of time handling her probation in different cases that she's on. I don't fault people for making accusations because I'm a man that typically let women leave on their own behalf. Never held them in prison or held them in slavery or said, you can't leave me or you can't do this. Every woman you've seen come on this stand showed you that they left and came back willingly on their own. What I mean by that, they left on their own and they came back willingly on their own. During this trial, I was able to see, how valuable life is and how valuable the people that you hang around or the people that you even date or the people that you even know, how valuable it is to judge their character. Sometimes I let people stay around who I knew was going to affect a situation that I had going on. So I don't, and for the people who came to this trial that I never met a day in my life, never had any contact with them, never had a text message with them, never had an interaction with them, don't even know where most of these stories came from. It's baffling. Never forced a woman to commit a sexual act. Never. I've been traveling all around the world from here to Dubai, and you would never hear a woman say that I forced them to do anything sexual or commit a rape with anybody. I don't hang around people that do things of that nature. I feel like, and somebody asked me this the other day, it was like, every time I see your head high and you always smiling, because when you have that confidence, it takes me back to the Bible. When you have that confidence and you can be falsely accused of things. Jesus was falsely accused. A lot of the prophets were falsely accused. You don't have that emotion like you've done something. So if you see me with my head high or if you see me smiling, it's because I know at the end of the day, through Jesus Christ, the Most High will always give you the actual judgment. So I really thank you for providing us a fair trial. Just me getting to know you during trial, I was like, she's just a judge. But when you sit 12 people in that panel and you have them, judge our lives and, put them in a position to judge our lives, it takes you back to, once again, the Bible when people had to judge these prophets' lives. And I say, if you know me, you actually know me. There's plenty of people that know me in this world. There's plenty of people that know me in this jail. There's plenty of people that know me where I'm from. Like I say, once again, I'm not perfect. I come from certain areas. I come from, certain environments. I come from doing things in my past life before the music. But I'm here to tell you that if you sat in this trial and you paid attention to this trial, before these dates, no woman could ever say, I've done those things to them. Before these dates, you can go on my Instagram and see these women enjoying themselves, having their own things, living their own life. Before these dates, I could say you had these women that never had anything to say about me. Before this indictment, before the RICO, you had these women actually talking to me while I was incarcerated. I've been incarcerated for 4 years, and these women are interacting with me. These women who took the stand up and supposedly scared of me or monsters or I'm a monster or took these proffers. This wasn't the case before they was indicted. So from my perspective, I feel like some people can get bullied into a situation that they really don't really want to do. And I'm sitting here just holding my head high and just, feeling that one day the truth will come out. One day the truth will come out on my situation. One day the truth will come out on this rape allegation, that these things never happened. And when you see a person get up on that stand and put their hand on the Bible and swear to tell the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth, that means you have to be perfect like you're Jesus. You have to be perfect on that stand. You can't show a flaw. And that's a tough one. It's a tough one for me because I had flaws in my life. So you have to tell the complete truth on that stand. And I got up there and see people put their hand on that Bible and not tell the complete truth. And that's baffling. But at the end of the day, I put my trust in the Most High. I put my trust in the universe to bring out the truth. To bring out the truth of these people who made these allegations. To me, it's like you have no heart. You have no heart. And I know people want me to stay in line or walk a toe, but when you're speaking something truthfully and you're speaking from the heart and you know that this is not your character, something must be said. And I just wanted to address the court and give my perspective on the things that I felt during this trial in the judgment that I felt that the jurors gave us was not the correct judgment, and it will show. Thank you.
All right.
I'm not sure who bro lawyer was, but I don't know how he let him say, I never made any girl do anything. They did it willingly. Like, broski, prostitution is illegal. Why are you admitting to the crime vocally? The judge said, well, thanks for your speech. Now, welcome to the cooking show.
Right. This hand. You ready? Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, during the course of this trial, the court heard and viewed evidence demonstrating the very worst of human behavior toward other human beings. The jury verdict in this case reflects that the state met its burden in proving beyond a reasonable doubt that the diabolical conduct of the defendants occurred. The sentencing to be meted out by this court will be responsive to that. Mr. John Michael Hakeem Gibson, would you please stand? Okay. On count 1, violation of the Georgia RICO Act, 20 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive with count 10. On count 10, rape, life in confinement. Count 12, aggravated sodomy, life in confinement to run concurrent with count 10. Count 22, trafficking a person for sexual servitude, 20 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive with count 1. Count 23, trafficking a person for sexual servitude, 20 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive with count 22. Count 24, on the lesser included offense of battery, 12 months to serve in confinement to run concurrent with count 10. Count 25, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, 5 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive with count 23. Count 26, pimping, 12 months to serve in confinement to run concurrent with count 10. Count 27, pandering, 12 months to serve in confinement to run concurrent with count 10. Count 28, keeping a place of prostitution, 12 months to serve in confinement to run concurrent with count 10. Count 29, willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, 12 months to serve in confinement to run concurrent with count 10. Count 30, simple battery, merges into count 24, battery. Count 45, possession of prohibited items by an inmate, 5 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive with count 25. Conditions of this sentence: no contact with any of the victims named in the indictment, to include Diamond Urban or their families. You are to register as a sex offender. You are to stay away from 737 Alfred Road in Atlanta. You are to stay away from the Mezzo condominium, 2171 Peachtree. You are to stay away from the St. George's Commons address, and you are to stay away from the Fulton Industrial Boulevard corridor. All right, you may be seated. All right, Ms. Smith and counsel, please stand. As to count 1, violation of the Georgia RICO Act, 20 years to serve in confinement. Count 37, trafficking a person for sexual servitude, 10 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive to count One, you're to have no contact with any of the victims, including Diamond Irvin, named in this indictment, or their families. You are to register as a sex offender. You are to stay away from 737 Alfred Road, the Mezzo at 2171 Peachtree Road, the address at the St. George's Commons, 9340, and the FIB, Fulton Industrial Boulevard corridor. You may be seated.
I can't believe he took it to trial. I definitely think 70 years is a bit brutal. Lord Jesus. It's not like he caught a drug trafficking case or he shot or killed someone. Bro, you were beating women and making them do sexual acts they didn't want to do. Who do you think were the witnesses? These were a bunch of women gathering up, telling their story. You were cooked from the beginning. The crazy part is they offered bro 25 years and he turned it down. But what's even worse about it is he's never ever going to be able to see his mom again, which is crazy to me because how can you take it to trial when you was running it out of your mom's house? They even gave your mom 30 years.